friends, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name's Monica. I make content about working 9 to 5, owning a small business, sustainability, lifestyle, and now wedding planning, which is really fun. This is going to be part 2 of my planning series, I believe. Today we are making a bunch of DIYs for my engagement party. It's going to be super casual. It's going to be in a restaurant here in Hoboken. It's a beer garden, so not that formal, but I still want to do some really cool DIYs to make the place seem a little bit more aesthetic. So here's the vision I'm going for. Long table runner, flowers, a sign, I'm wearing a dress, and that's pretty much it. I feel like not that much goes into engagement parties. It's kind of just like a hangout. So I'm going to DIY all those things, starting with my dress, which I'm so excited about. I plan on making all of my bridal apparel, including my dress, like my wedding dress. But I'm not set in stone with that. Like, I am still gonna go wedding shopping, like wedding dress shopping, just to see what's out there. Anyway, got so off topic. Other than my dress, I'm also going to DIY like a wedding sign. I plan on using wood or plywood or something of that sort, maybe even acrylic. And I also want to make some paper menus with recycled paper. My DIY ideas might change as we start going through this. Also, I'm going to try to make everything as sustainable as possible, reuse anything that I have here in my apartment. If I'm going to buy something new, I want to be mindful of where I buy things from, and also if I'm going to be able to use those materials in the future and not just have things be single use for this one party. That's like a huge pet peeve of mine. I really can't stand single use things, especially things that are expensive. So I'm going to try to reuse everything that I make here, starting with my dress. So I got this fabric at Mood Fabrics. I got it online actually. It's called the Mood Exclusive Eliana Ivory Sustainable Viscose Fluid Satin. Very long name. Anyway, it caught my eye because it looked just like a satin, but also looked really soft, like it has a nice drape. Didn't seem fake, like some sort of polyester satin. I mean, every satin has probably some sort of percentage of polyester in it, but this looked really nice. It's Mood Earth verified, and it says that the fabric contains Eco-Vero viscose, a sustainable viscose with responsible wood sourcing, up to 50% lower water impact and up to 50% lower CC4 emissions. And this was $17.99 per yard. Obviously not the cheapest for satin, obviously not the most expensive for satin. Also trying to make all these DIYs budget friendly, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, it's really pretty, and I thought it would look nice for a bias cut dress because I thought it would just like flow really nice. So here is the pattern I found. I think it's beautiful. I don't know how I haven't found this pattern before. And I cut it out, put it all together. This is what it looks like. This is the back. So the cowl, the really big cowl is this curved part right here. And then it's like a maxi dress. I'm going to shorten it because I am short. I'm 5 foot, so I don't need all of the length. But I do want it to be a midi length. And the front is pretty much the same, except it's like not as much of a cowl and has the armholes. So yeah, that's what we're going with. I will link this pattern below. I really like it so far. I haven't used it yet, so stay till the end to see how it turns out. So let's get started with that. I think this would obviously take me about a week to get done with all my DIYs. So this is going to span the rest of the week. Also, it's Monday, May 15th, and my party is on May 21st, Sunday. Less than a week, but we can do it. Okay, pieces are cut out. I used the same fabric for the lining, so I just cut out 2 of each piece, the front and the back, and it's looking good already, honestly. All right, I'm trying to like show the cowl, but the front will look like that, which is so nice, and then the back has a deeper cowl, so it'll look like that. I don't know if you could tell. Let me put it together. Guys, look at this. Oh, you can't see most of it. One sec. Can you see it? It looks very cute. Kind of weird at the hips. I think I messed something up with either cutting it out or stitching it, so we'll see what to do about that. This is actually the lining piece. It doesn't really matter because both pieces are the same, but I just wanted to see what the cowl looks like. The back looks great. The front might be a little too deep, like for my liking, so I may need to figure that out or just use a whole lot of fashion tape. And I'm wearing like pants under this, which is why it's not looking as smooth, but like the booty looks good. The length is like a little too long still, so I'm going to chop off like a few inches. Okay, I'm gonna put the two pieces together now and see what it looks like. Okay, here's an update. I just put the straps on. I got these really thin straps from a Thrifty Notion. They're a sustainable online shop that sells secondhand fabric and notions and trims. So I saw that they had a cool like ribbon section, and I found these, which are beautiful. They're just like a satin, what's this called? Like the really like wire almost. If I think of the name, I'll put it here. But yeah, I was going to make the straps from the fabric, cutting it like on bias, but I mean, I already had this and I could never make straps this thin, so this was perfect. So it'll look like this with the little straps. Oh, so cute. Okay, so now next step is to I need to put the lining and the main fabric together. Oh, and I also need to add these little loopies because the strap like starts here, goes back, it connects to like a little notch right here, and then you tie it like your back right here. So I gotta insert these first, and then I put the parts together. First try on. Can you see the back? Can you see this? It looks so cute. It looks exactly like I pictured, especially the top part. Like this is the exact cowl I pictured, like not too big. I do need to like fashion shape this though so that nothing weird happens. And the back is perfect. Now the only thing is that the hips are weird. There's like a weird thing going on right here. I know the angle is weird, but I think I like sewed this wrong. So I'm gonna fix that because it's bunching, or maybe it's just like a little bit too big. So I'm going to fix both the sides, especially this one. Otherwise it's good. I'll probably need to put my hair up or something to show this off. I'm so happy I already had these because they're perfect. They're like really thin. Oh, love it. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I fixed the weird side seam thing. Let's see if you can tell. It's still like a little bit wrinkly. I think I need to cut off the excess fabric because for some reason this side of the dress, like the hips were so much bigger than this side. I don't know when that happened. So I just need to cut off the excess fabric, and then I think all of that ruffling will go away. Otherwise, I think it's good. I wish the waist was a little tighter, but this pattern didn't include a zipper in it. I could just add in a zipper myself and then make the sides tighter, but we'll see if I end up having time to do that. It's the next day, and I just finished up with altering the waistline of this dress. It was like a little bit too bulky here, so I just took it in a little bit to make it show my waist a little bit more so it wouldn't look too like puffy. It could be tighter, but I think I like it like this. Gives me a room to eat. Back is still looking really great, of course. It's literally my favorite part of the dress. Oh, I also hemmed it. Can't really see, but I think it's a good length now. I didn't actually hem it. I just cut it to make it shorter. So I need to actually serge it and hem the ends. I think I'm gonna save that for another day though. Okay, I changed out of my dress. I'm gonna save up finishing the dress for tomorrow or the next day because I'm really motivated to make the menus right now. I want to design them on my laptop and just like work at my desk for a little bit. I might also make some scrunchies and decals for some orders that I have, my online shop. And this always happens where I get home from work. It's 7:59, 8 o'clock basically, and it's dark out. Obviously my light is on, but it's not like the best light. I don't know if you could tell. You can definitely tell that the quality of my videos at night just like isn't it, and I've been looking for a desk lamp to just like make the vibe a little bit better. Also, when I'm working with my hands over here, it's like I'm focusing so hard because I literally can't see in this dim light all the little like intricate details. So finally got myself a good lamp, and I want to show it to y'all because I really like it. It's really compact and it's one of those like flexible neck lamps. I just opened it and love it. Looks like this. Comes with a little remote attached to the wire and the clamp, obviously, which is my favorite part. So this will basically go on any single desk or surface that you need to go on. I attach it to my desk. I'll like show you in a bit. Let me show you all these different customizations first. I set up my lamp in this corner of my desk. My desk is like right here, and it's perfect because it's like out of the way. I can always like bend it away to not be on top of the desk. But it's easy to like put back on. It gets super bright, but also has dimmable options. So, whoa. So this is like the concentration light, really white, really bright, and this is what I use when I'm trying to make earrings. Like I'm working with my hands, like putting them right up there, you know what I mean? Has a bunch of different brightness settings going from 10% to 100%. So we can get this brighter, as you can tell. Oh, is that the brightest? Yeah, that's the brightest. And then it goes down to like the dimmest setting, just because like we don't always need it super bright. And you just click the button to make it brighter or dimmer. You can also change the hue of the light. So this one's like, if you're not feeling the concentration light, you want something a little bit more warm. This one's like kind of warm, kind of concentration. And this one's the white one, and this one's the whitest one, which it's good to have options, you know what I mean? There's also a timer if you want to set a timer for it to turn off at a certain time or to stay on for a certain amount of time. It sets 20-minute, 40-minute, and 60-minute timers. And then there's also a nightlight mode, which is really cool. That's nightlight. So it's just like really feel good. Let's stop working. Let's chill out. Let's like wind down, you know? The connection is USB, which is really handy because I do have a USB port down where I plug everything in at the bottom of my desk, but it also comes with this handy guy if you want to plug it into a regular outlet. Also so affordable. They also provide a warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. We love that. If it's not for you, you know, you have that option, but I really love it. And I'm so happy that I finally got one of these. I don't know why I decided that like I should be suffering for this long without a desk lamp. For my content creators out there, also acts as like a bright light for when you're recording videos or taking pictures or whatever it is. Obviously this is not what I look like in my normal lighting because it's very dim. So this helps so much. Like we go from this to this. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to make some menus right now. I'm going to use Adobe Illustrator with a mix of Canva in there because I like using Canva to get inspiration because they have nice templates, but I like Illustrator because I like the freedom to move things around easier. I feel like it's more bare bones. I'm going to do that. I've kind of decided on the paper I want to use. I went to Paper Source the other day and I found this like green paper that looks long like a menu, so I'm thinking of using that. If not, depending on like how many items are on this menu, I might need to make it just half a sheet of paper. I think I want it to be green, low-key. So I'm going to do that. Then I also want to make a drink menu. And that's either going to be white or pink. I feel like white would be good. I'm going to design that right now, figure out the sizing. Then tomorrow I'll go get some paper and print it all out. Okay guys, today's the Thursday before my engagement party, and today was the day where I ran all my errands to get all the materials I need for the rest of my DIYs. So let me do a quick haul of the things that I got. First thing up, you saw me go to Home Depot, so I just got this big piece of plywood. I had them cut it so that I had the perfect size. This is the size I was going for. You can't even see the whole thing. I think it's 24 inches by 20 inches. I think that's what I asked for, and I think this is just like the perfect size for a welcome sign. It's not too big, not too small. I do need to sand the edges, so I got some stuff for that. Sanding block, finer sanding paper. I also got this water-based satin and poly finish. Well, it's like a wood stain and a finish. And then I have my stain brush. Also, I went to Home Depot to get all this stuff, and altogether it was $48.91, which is a good amount for a welcome sign. However, this is going to be a reusable welcome sign. I thought about it, and there's going to be a lot of signs, welcome signs, and like other signs in general that I'm going to need for this whole wedding process. So I'm going to make this reusable by putting this finish on it, and because like this will be like stained and have the gloss on top of it, I should be able to put vinyl on it and take it off fairly easily. So let's see how that works out. Hopefully it could be reusable. And then the bigger piece of plywood, that's like this big one right here, I'm thinking of saving to have as my like table seating chart. Not that I actually need one because our wedding's gonna be very small, so people won't really need to like know exactly where they're sitting. They can just like walk around the one table and like find their name tag, but I thought it'd be cute to put everyone's names on like a board, so maybe I'll use that for that. And then I'll be reusing like all of this other stuff for that same sign, so it'll kind of be like a 2, 3, 4-in-1 kind of sign for $50, $48. So I think that's a little bit more worth it. Also, I went to Paper Source and I got some really pretty paper. This is the first one. I don't know if you can tell, but it has a sort of like shine to it. They call it like the platinum paper or like premium paper or something. It just has like a nice like chrome finish almost, which is funny because it's like the kind of nails that I want to get for my engagement party. This is going to be for the drink menus. I wanted them to be long like this because I thought that was pretty. And then this green color is going to be for the actual menus. I'm going to cut them in half, so it's going to be like, ignore this half. It's going to be like half this size, back and front. So that's the goal. I'm excited to get started. I think I'll get started with the board first because I have daylight and I want to do this outside so that the fumes aren't like stinking up my apartment. Okay, while my sign is drying outside with the wood stain, I want to show you how I'm making the menus. So I'm in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm just using this because I already have this for my small business, but you can definitely use Canva or really any sort of site that would do this. Like Microsoft Word honestly would work. But I just made these two artboards. That's what these rectangles are called in Adobe Illustrator. I made them this like sage green color because I think that's what it's going to look like with the paper. And let me just show you what the menu looks like on their website. It looks like this, and I hate it. Honestly, it's it's just not that pretty. And then on a phone, it's not mobile friendly at all. Like, it's really hard to see all these details. So I turned into this. I think it looks cute. I put the starters here, which we already ordered. They're just going to be platters on the table. And then for the mains, I put different categories: salads, brunch, etc. And then desserts are at the bottom, which are also pre-ordered. And everything is going to be open bar, obviously. So I made a drink menu with all the available drinks. It's a beer garden, so They have a lot of beer and minimal of other stuff, but I thought I'd put everything on there. Like the wine is really small down here at the bottom, but they have a variety. Bottled, canned, and draft beers. So that's what this looks like. Oh, and a few cocktails as well. It is going to be brunch, so I thought I'd include these for the mimosa and like bellinis and stuff like that. And they have a bunch of non-alcoholic drinks, which is good for people. So this is going to go on the chrome looking paper, and I'm excited. The way I'm printing it out is I'm putting the menus. It's kind of complicated, honestly. This is an 8.5 by 11 artboard, so that's the size of the paper, and I'm putting 2 menus on it. These are the front of the menus with the starters, and then on a different artboard I'm putting the back of the menu, which is the rest of the mains and the desserts. So I'm going to print out the front of them with 2 front parts of the menu, and then flip the paper over and reprint on the back, because my printer doesn't do back and front printing. I have to do it manually, and I'm going to print out the backs on that same piece of paper and then use my paper cutter to cut across, and then I'll have 2 menus. For the drink menus, it'll be a little different because I already have like the size of the paper that I want, so I'm just going to print out one front and then flip over the paper and then print out the back, and that's that. So when it prints, it looks like this, with the front of the menus, there are 2 of them, and then the back of the menus on there. After I flip it over and reinsert into my printer, this is my draft, so I'm just gonna rip this in half. For the finals, I'll be using my paper cutter, but I also don't know how to find the center. I might have to like use a ruler and like mark 5.5, yeah, 5.5 inches to get the middle, but we'll see. All right, let's see how this looks. I don't think it's centered. Yeah, it's definitely not centered. I think it needs to move over that way. That needs to move over that way. Let me fix that. Okay, 2 things. After many iterations, I finally got a menu and drink menu that I think finally look good. This is the regular menu. That's the front and the back. I think it looks nice. Maybe I should add something at the bottom here that says like thank you for joining us or something, because there's a little bit of space. Maybe I should add that. Okay, and then the drinks menu looks like this. I think that seems good. They have like a lot of drinks there because it's a beer garden, so I had to try to fit everything on this one piece of paper, and I think I did pretty good. Also, my board dried, and I think it looks great. It's like a nice golden color. It's not the most even wood stain job I've ever done, but so it looks good. I need to design what it's actually gonna say. That might take some time because I always overthink it, but I'm going to do that in Adobe Illustrator as well, and once I figure it out, I'm going to print it out with, or cut it out with my Cricut with vinyl that I already have. I hope I have enough removable vinyl, because I was originally planning on using permanent vinyl, but now I want to obviously be able to reuse the board for multiple different occasions, so hopefully I have enough reuse removable vinyl, because I use that a lot for my mirror decals that I sell. It's Friday. You would not believe how much trouble these menus have been causing me because of the margins. Finally got it done where the margins are equal on the left and the right. I kept messing up because, is this even? No, this isn't even even. Wait, is this the wrong one? Oh yeah, that's the wrong one. Okay, this is the right one. Gosh, everything's falling apart. I kept messing up because I centered this on Adobe Illustrator. So there are 2. These are both front sides of the menu. I don't know why I'm explaining this, because this is probably a very simple concept to most of you who have been making your own stuff for a while, but it looks like this when it gets printed out, and I just cut it in half. But when I cut it in half before, the margins were so off, so uneven, and I just kept guessing and checking. For some reason, I wasn't using any rulers or whatever. Finally did it the right way, centered it with a ruler, and then I set my printer to no margins so that it wouldn't mess things up, because that was what was messing me up. We are done with that. I do have to go back to Paper Source though and return the paper that I bought yesterday, at least one of the papers. So I got this really cool like chrome filter looking paper for the drinks menu, but I don't know if you can tell, it smudges like a ton. So I mean, maybe you can see the bottom more, but yeah, like there's there just like everywhere. And I have sweaty hands and people are gonna be eating and like holding their drinks and things like that, so I don't want it to smudge. And I let it sit for a whole night. It was fine when the AC was running, but then when it's off, it I guess gets too warm in here and then starts smudging, so we don't like that. So I'm gonna go back, return that, and get the regular cardstock, which I already have the green version of, but I want the like ivory color for the drinks menu, and I realized that I need more of the green paper. So I'm gonna go back, get some more of that, return this thing, and print out these dang menus. I also wanted to show you this. I designed a welcome sign and I think it looks so cute. I actually changed this number obviously because I want to keep the date of my wedding a little bit of a surprise, but I just used 2 different fonts here. I used Adobe fonts with my Adobe Illustrator, so if anyone's interested, I'll put the font names below in case you want to use it for your projects. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I think it'll be cute. Okay, so the good news is that I'm using removable vinyl, so I don't have to stress about getting it perfect the first time, but I really would like to get it perfect the first time. So I have all of my vinyl just like laid out, and I need to try to make it as even as possible and proportional and not crooked. it looks so freaking good. It was worth all the stress. I'm sure there were easier ways to line it up and make it more even. Technically, it's not fully straight. Some things are a little bit crooked, but you can't really tell. So, considering this a win, I'm so excited. It's the night before our engagement party and I finished up pretty much all my DIYs. Hemmed my dress, so that's fully done, tried it on, it's a great length, and I also top stitched the neckline and the armhole so that it wouldn't come undone and just so it looks like a finished piece. I do still need to tie the ribbons around the menus so that they all look like this, and I'm going to get baby's breath tomorrow morning from Trader Joe's most likely to stick into there, but that'll be like a last minute touch. Another fun thing that I made without showing you all are thank you cards, but they're like really miniature thank you notes because I'm going to insert them into my mom's macaroon boxes, like the top of the boxes, and tie the boxes with a ribbon. So they just say thank you and have a nice little note. This is made on recycled paper that is embedded with flower seeds, so I put a little note saying that you can plant it in your garden and watch it grow, which I think is cute. I got this paper off of Amazon, so I'll link that as well, obviously. Oh, and another thing that I don't even think I talked to you all about is that I got flowers. So I have a bucket that's keeping all of the flowers just like safe until I can make the centerpieces tomorrow morning. I wanted to wait to cut the stems so that they last a little bit longer. I think that's what you're supposed to do. I don't really know too much about all this florist stuff, but I basically just got a whole bunch of wholesale flowers, big bunches, unmade bouquets, and I'm going to put them together tomorrow in mason jars that I already have. Oh, and obviously yesterday you guys saw that my welcome sign is done. I was very excited about that, very stressed out about getting that perfect, but I think it came out pretty much perfect, a little bit off, but as good as it can be. Party, and I'm so excited. All of our close friends and family are going to be there. It's basically half of who's going to be at the wedding is going to be at this engagement party because we're going to have a really small wedding. The DIYs are coming along. Everything is set. I'm just making these like centerpieces. I don't know what to do about this blue guy because I think he's cute but kind of tall. What do you think? Any florists, please give me advice because I will be doing the flowers for my own wedding, and I don't want the advice that I should get a florist because I want to do it myself. Sorry. Like, is that obnoxious though? You know? I think it might be. mason done mason jar bouquets or centerpieces. I think they look so cute. The only thing I'm really upset about is that all of the dahlias are wilted, as you can see. They're all like facing down, but it's fine. This is what we had to work with. I needed to get the flowers yesterday because the flower markets like weren't open today, or most of them weren't, so it's fine. They're just gonna be a little droopy. So I'm gonna pack these up and get them out of the sun so that they try to last longer, and that's all I gotta do.